Welcome, descendants of Atlantis. This is John Murray, and this is part 3 of my series on how the ancients moved stone and on the discovery at Hatnub of the 4,500-year-old contraption. So next, let's look at this pictograph called the de jure seal, and I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. I think this was likely originally a pictograph written in the universal language of music and mathematics, which are really the same ideation. It was probably not originally a hieroglyph, but was later adopted to that by later dynastic Egyptians who lost understanding of its true meaning. The caduceus coils we see may signify successively raising the vibration of the plateau progressively upwards, each loop in the caduceus coils representing the next vibrational level. Dual meanings as always, like when the millennial band accidentally raised the plateau's vibration. The coils may also indicate the ancients did not always write their music left to right as we do, but may have also written it bottom to top, as in an upward building cascading series of spiraling musical notes. The inner loops of these coils are similar in appearance to the musical notes, the musical scale. Perhaps 3 rods or massive tuning forks inserted through the Lioness into the Giza Plateau, the second Lioness, needed to be struck with the axe hammer in the proper sequence, Do, Fa, Ti, which as with the millennial band, then would accelerate the Giza Plateau and vibrate it and turn it on. Because each of these 3 tuning rods would likely have a different frequency, the master of this whole process would need to know which tuning rod to insert into which hole in the second Lioness and in what sequence to hit each one of them. They need to know how long to wait between striking each successive rod, and it may not have been a set amount of time to wait, but rather a matter of attunement on their parts as to when the plateau was ready to accept the next step up in its vibration, as represented by the 3 caduceus, or musical or vibrational coils spiraling upwards. Too soon? Then you'd cause a sonic explosion, which is perhaps the fate of the second reported, crowned, and now gone Sphinx Lioness. So first you strike rod 1, and that begins to raise the plateau's vibration. Then when the plateau is ready to accept the next step in its vibration, you strike the musical rod 2, and finally rod 3 to fully raise its vibration. In the upper right of the de jure seal, we see what may be a representation of cascading musical scales, as evidenced by their being interlocked. Very similar to a picture of musical scales of today. The 3 upside-down beakers, if I may call them that, may somehow instruct which order to strike the rods in, that is, from smaller to next size to the larger of these images. The strange-looking depiction in the far left top area may be what the top of the tuning rod or forks look like. The top of it is similar to the beakers, and so this then would indicate that of the 3 rods, first strike the one with the smallest beaker atop it, then the next, and finally the third. Notice next to the smallest beaker is the smallest caduceus, or upwards musical coil, and then they get larger as they appear next to each of the larger beakers, quote unquote, that is, at the top of each of the successively larger tuning rods. The V shape with a vertical line in the middle of it may indicate that the 3 rods' vibration projected downward at an angle into a central point in the plateau. Then these 3 rods' harmonics projected downwards towards a central point merge at some point way below in the plateau, where they then created a 4th unified harmonic as the 3 harmonics came together. This then opened the record halls and turned on the plateau in this theory. These symbols all may have been converted to hieroglyphs by a later culture. It's also possible the person holding the axe and hammers had to possess a certain personal vibration or mastery, like I reported in my videos on ancient image. And like is reported that this is what is needed to open the serpent doors at the Padman Baswami temple, I hope I'm saying that right, in India. And this personal vibration then transferred to the axe or hammer they were holding, which then transferred to the rod when struck by him or her. And then just not anybody could successfully strike the rods. Thus the high office associated with the symbols. Thus the second Sphinx possibly explodes because the master authority, when they tried to do this the last time, didn't have that personal vibration, or they put the tuning rods in the wrong holes, or they struck them in the wrong order, or they struck them too soon. Or the entire plateau at that point was dysfunctional and not able to accept the vibration step up. Maybe if the entire Giza plateau is turned on and vibrates, then somehow it sets these three rods harmonics to meet at that lower point. And that fourth harmonic, which is then created, hits a set point in the plateau below and sets into motion a mechanical and or vibrational process. I realize this is kind of getting like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but think about it for a minute. This fourth harmonic then drains the sand which buried the cliff face in front of the Sphinx and funnels the sand away, thus revealing the lost Hall of Records. This is akin to shaking or vibrating an hourglass to get the stuck sand in the middle of it to flow downwards and away. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, forward my videos, and like my videos. I only plan on continuing this channel if I get enough interest in it.